Welcome to the Category 12B, the herbs that clear and transform phlegm heat. Before we start introducing the herbs, we would like to first give you some background of the clinical manifestation of phlegm heat. Phlegm can be caused by internal factors such as spleen or stomach dampness. Dampness in the middle jowl may arise due to thinking too much or bad diet and lack of exercise. On the other hand, phlegm can also be caused by external factors such as unresolved wind cold or wind heat attack. Generally, there are two types of phlegm that can accumulate in the lungs, which are cold phlegm or phlegm heat. In this video, we will be only focusing on phlegm heat herbs. The signs and symptoms of phlegm heat include yellow phlegm that is hard to spit up, sore throat, chest pain, thirst, yellow-red urine, and dry stools. Now I will be discussing the general characteristics of these kinds of herbs. The herbs that clear and transform phlegm heat are generally sweet and bitter in taste, and they are cold in nature. Most of them enter the lungs. They mainly have an impact on coughing with thick and yellow sputum, where the sputum is characterized by being difficult to cough up. The patient may also feel a stifling sensation in the chest. According to 黄帝内经, the bitterness can dry dampness, the sweetness can tonify fluids, and harmonize other herbs and alleviate the situation. Also, 黄帝内经 stated that cold or cool herbs should be used when there is a heat condition. Therefore, it is reasonable that these sweet, bitter, and cold herbs can clear and transform the phlegm heat. 川贝母 tastes sweet and bitter. It is slightly cold in nature and enters the lung and heart channels. The main functions of 川贝母 include transforming and clearing phlegm heat with cough. It is also good for chest infections as it clears heat and dissipates nodules such as scrofula, sores, carbuncles, and lung abscess. But we must note that 川贝母 is not suitable for problems related to cold phlegm or damp phlegm. Here's some additional information about 川贝母. It has many different names as you can see on the screen. 瓜蒌 tastes sweet and bitter. It is slightly cold in nature. 瓜蒌 enters the lung and heart channels. Its main therapeutic actions include clearing lung heat and transforms phlegm, which is the same as 川贝母 as discussed earlier. However, in contrast to 川贝母, 瓜蒌 can also act on the lower jowl by having the function of moistening the intestines and then block obstruction of bowel movement. Cautiously, one must note that 瓜蒌 is contraindicated for those with diarrhea due to deficiency and weakness of the spleen and stomach, and it should not be combined with drugs of the aconitum complex. Gualo-ren is the seed of gualo. Its taste is sweet and slightly bitter. It is cold in nature and enters the lung, stomach, and large intestine channels. Gualo-ren has three main functions. It transforms phlegm, and interestingly, this herb not only moistens the lungs but also moistens the intestines to unblock bowel movements. Therefore, it's a helpful herb for problems such as constipation. However, gualo-ren is contraindicated in those with a weak deficient spleen and either nausea or loose stools. Gualo pea, the snake gourd peel. It is cold and sweet. It mainly enters lung and chest area. Gualo pea can clear lung and transform phlegm heat, which is similar with other herbs like 川贝母 or gualo-ren. But it has special function on expanding chest to facilitate the flow of qi. Notably, we should be cautious not to use gualo pea with aconitum. Since gualo-ren and gualo pea are different parts of gualo, the English scientific and pharmaceutical names are very similar. For example, gualo, gualo pea, and gualo-ren are called snake gourd fruit, snake gourd peel, and snake gourd seed respectively. Finally, the last two herbs discussed are quite special and their properties differ from the herbs introduced before. Kwanbu is another herb that transforms phlegm. Kwanbu is cold in nature and tastes salty. It enters kidney, liver, and stomach channels. Moving on to actions and indications of Kwanbu. Kwanbu is salty, thus Kwanbu can reduce phlegm and soften areas of hardness, which include various kinds of nodules in the neck, such as scrofula or goiter, or sensation of fullness and obstruction in the chest caused by phlegm. Kwanbu has been recently used with substances that invigorate the blood and transform stasis for such conditions such as thyroid tumors, tuberculosis, lymphadenitis, and cirrhosis. The nature of Kwanbu is moist and it directs downward. Thus, it promotes urination and reduces swelling. Because these effects are relatively weak, it is used as an adjunctive herb for edema and leg qi. Kwanbu is cold, so it dispels heat and disperses clumps. Thus, it is mainly indicated for all types of edema, goiter, and accumulated clumped qi, causing chronic sores on the neck. Therefore, Kwanbu is contraindicated in cases of cold from spleen or stomach qi deficiency. Kwanbu has many common names, including kelp or tango in English. Haizao is a herb that is very similar to Kwanbu and that also transforms phlegm. Haizao is cold in nature and tastes salty and bitter. It enters kidney, liver, lung, and stomach channels. Moving on to actions and indications of Haizao. Haizao is a bit bitter as well as salty. Thus, like Kwanbu, it also reduces phlegm and softens areas of hardness, which include for neck nodules such as goiter and scrofula. It is used for bulging disorders, especially those involving the scrotum and testicles. Haizao also promotes urination and reduces edema. It is also mainly used as an adjunctive herb for edema due to leg qi or floating edema. In terms of the precaution and contraindication of Haizao, due to the cold nature of Haizao, Haizao is not used in cases of cold from spleen or stomach qi deficiency. According to some traditional sources, this herb is incompatible with Gancao. In the past, Haizao and Gancao were not to be joined in the same prescription. However, recent clinical reports indicate that the combination of Haizao and Gancao is safe. Haizao has many common names, including seaweed in English. Here is a list of alternate names of Haizao, as you can see on the screen. There are two main standard species and many other alternate species and local variants. Let us compare Kwanbu and Haizao with you. The flavor of Haizao is bitter and salty, but its consistency is slightly turbid compared to Kwanbu, and its cooling action is not as pronounced. Haizao's therapeutic actions are accordingly milder, and it is incompatible with Gancao in traditional sources. And lastly, Haizao is used for bulging disorders, especially those involving the scrotum and testicles, whereas Kwanbu is used for a sensation of fullness and obstruction in the chest. So one is more effective at the lower jaw, and the other is effective at the upper jaw. And this is the end of our presentation. Hope it helps you guys in understanding the herbs that clear and transform Phlegm-Heat. Thanks for watching.